You are going to feel very relaxed.
Hola, everybody! Wow! How are you today? Oh my goodness, I love the music today. It's so very relaxing, you know. All the good stuff given to you by Cortez on the Cortez show. So welcome, everybody. Yes, you out there, you beautiful person, you know. The one, the only you. Okay, I think we got this now. Yeah, all right. Well, welcome to the show. You're the ones. You got to go out and do these things. What do you think about the set? So pretty cool, you know. Got the Cortez logo. Looks like, a really good talk show coming to you. After the series or in the series, I don't know. We'll see, you know. So, hey, how are you doing out there? Is it a tough week for you or was it easy? Sometimes you got to have the notes in front of you. You can look down and see the notes. So you can go check, 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 check. You know, it's a kind of a thing on planet Earth. You got to have the checks and balances, you know, for the life, you know, for the things. So all the good stuff for you coming to you this week. We are going to engage in a little moment about the boundaries. Number 2. It's a doo-doo for sure. All right. And to remember from the last show, we need to help distinguish our property lines so that we can take care of it. You know, they help us guard our heart and our diligence, for the good stuff in life. Yes? All right. In short, boundaries help to keep the good in and the bad out. And sometimes we have to have the bad on the inside and the good on the outside. In these instances, we switch it around and get with the friends, you know. Give a little time together for you to decompress yourselves and let it go. You know, you got to let it out and let it go. So these are very important things for you. All right. And as you remember in the previous story, our friend, she had to reverse the way her boundaries worked. She needed fences that were strong enough to keep the bad out and the good in the gates. And the gates and those fences to let the good already in her soul. And, you know, letting the good in we need. So, it's a very simple equation, you know, as we go through the next story. Oh, my goodness, it is so important. This story comes from events in the world. You know, this is not a new. This is the old events, you know, way long, millennia ago in the cycle where the human consciousness comes together to finally get the answers. But be able to enact them in the timeline of today where they had the choice to say no, and then maybe no. Hey, Taco Truck, how you doing? Meep, meep. Oh, hey, you say you like the show so far and you like the way the response has been given to the Cortez show, right? Meep, meep, meep. Oh, you son of a gun. I know it is a little tricky business. All right. Well, here's we go to the next story for you to think about this week. You go to the weekend, don't do stew, fool. Oh, those are very, very difficult words. So don't get caught in the mess. Okay. So it was a beautiful summer. He and she were in a certain bliss. They were in a state of oneness, representing the eternal goals of existence across all the planes of matter and light. Certain discussion and discourse began over the intimacy and interest in mixed relationship. According to polyamory with her partner's best friend. Oh my gosh, what the heck? What are you talking about? That was old school. We don't do those kind of things anymore. Her partner, who had lived openly and trustingly with her, indicated he would be open in such time to acceptance, but felt to truly live in his personal relationship for a longer season of building trust and life together before adding another being with their own weights. Sometimes joys, but mainly dysfunction between them. Dysfunction is a thing. You don't want to be dysfunctional, All right. Still, leaving all things one, he noticed that there was a change from the moment he explained and said no, not at this time, honey, and for good reason. So a boundary was set, and that did not sit well with her. It seems there was not yet been the conquering of duality. She began falling into lower states of reason from the no answer. Oh my gosh. What do you think is happening here? Some of the things that, we want, we got to trust that we are going to get them in a good time. That is called the faith. All right. So a boundary was set, and that did not sit well with her. It seems that it was not yet been the conquering of that duality. So, which was intended and delivered to create a healthy boundary, was an intrusion to her desire. So she thought to her own development at the cost of another. What the heck? Haven't you learned? No, do not do that kind of thing, because bang, bing, bam, bada, boom, ba, boo, ba, bash. These things go crashing, So she began looking outside of her and her partner's relationship, sneaking around with the best friend. Her character began slipping away to the lower reason and state again. Maybe the lack of knowledge and her fears of dwindling resources placed her in a frantic mode of call and response. That is duality for you who do not know. Suddenly creating a duality, she once working within to absolve herself to freedom, but at the cost of her own creation. The equation of choices began unfolding, as they do, because these things have a movement and a circle. She was once working within to absolve herself to the freedom at the cost of her own choices, the equation of choices beginning to unfold. Her energetic choices and acceptance revealed gaps and disclosed inability to know the difference. Oh my goodness. She is in a very low state. Still digging, I think, but hey. It clouded her personal awareness to a limited set of possibilities and potentials. Do you see the definition now? She found herself slipping into the darkness. No, not like the band War, because I love that song, Slipping into Darkness. Oh, yeah, that's a very good one. It's even, the highly religious love to and stop their talking to hear that song. So, the darkness of lower reason, and she didn't understand why. Well, all before the information Cortez gives on the show is the why. On the way, the choices began being made for her trauma, began sitting in the room like a pink elephant. Normally, that comes after a lot of drinking. So, her trauma has now begun dictating her potential outcomes. Ooh, wow. Away from her known and well-being. So, she subverted herself into a creation of old constructs. She had thought, to have dealt with how religion had been dictating her understanding to principles outside the full freedom potential to the new creation. Oops. That is a big thing, a lot of people still doing that kind of thing. So, This is, however, subversion where trust and belief could not abound, if you will. Okay. Suddenly throwing herself into judgment of others, critical natures unfold. Ooh, wow. And suddenly the breaking of her trust relationships now into deceit, going behind the back, closing off the healthy doors to new life, and all the best friend and partner. Uh-oh, we got a problem. He who had helped all along to bring her to the highest self in reason. She had interest at one time to be a spirit guide and energy light worker, but now was flung into the lower realms she had thought she had once understood. The hardening of the heart, the desire to have that which was, a little delineation between approval and clear no answer, was lost in her connection within. Well, suddenly breaking at the seams. Oh my gosh! Well, it's like a pool with a leak, but then suddenly the whole pool breaks open, Her internal health and spirit mind was now defaulted to a previous cycle and relationship that was in a lower dimension or density of weight and matter she once sat with. Through and though she tried to return to the higher self, that can be very hard. The lower you go, the more weight you got, and then suddenly you are blaming everything but going, oh my goodness, I think I need to look inside, The weight within the choices made, well, under the rest of lesser value, began encompassing and cocooning her into a worse state than that of the learner and supporter she once was with the partner. So who she declared eternal love, and friendship with now to a state of which she had covered once before. She also, in her decision to leave the partner and friend, began creating a self-defamation, reoccurring trauma to her partner's best friend. That imposed being now under the load of such effect. Uh-oh. Now the others are getting under the lower and lower effect. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? This is a community. Leaving all in a state of unraveled confusion and brokenness. Now the impacts of her choices were not hers alone, and a good guide would know this before creating such a deteriorating result. The splitting of others in her community went on for months. The relationship between a partner and a friend in shambles, and the pickup of the friend's best friend only showed and proved the lack of knowledge and understanding to which she declared she understood. Sounds like a little mind fuck. All right, so hey, that could happen. How much fuckery does it take for a new awakening to begin in health and wholeness? Good questions for you. All right. Months went by with no honorable result on her part, and the division of self and others and community continued to grow in certain disparity. Oh my gosh. Even today there is no turning. Instead, with the wantonness and the mincing around looking for approvals amongst the very community she and the others would have once guarded and protected from falling into a pit of roaries and such as this. Okay, so you see here, we see where a boundary was intentionally overstepped. Ouch! That one hurts a little, Yes. Opens, we are responsible through actions and effects of our choices and the portals it opens for the others unknowingly or knowingly. It's a community effort, and the effects are disease, if you will. Indeed, some of the ways of the masters include making these choices to positively affect knowing it will bump the conscious grid of the human telepathic beings around the world. Oh, you didn't know you were connected to a big circuit. Well, now you do. readjusting a long human problem, the sacred cows of where love does not abound, and the ideas of polarity, war, and duality still wash around the tub. Yes, it's like a grime that you have to clean out of the tub before you take a bath. So, you see, boundaries are anything that helps to differentiate you from someone else or shows where you begin and end, like skiing. Don't get under the skin, keep the skin on the top. You know, they say personal boundaries have been violated. Oh, they really get under my skin. Your physical self is the first way that you learn that you are separate from others while you are intimately connected to others, okay? So, you are the uterus. You to us. Yes, okay. So it's a good thing, you know. So last week we ended with the show to give some boundary definitions, you know. So some of the definitions are the words. In the physical world, the fence or some kind of structure usually delineates a boundary. In the spiritual world, the fences are invisible. Nevertheless, you can create good boundaries. Yes, protection fences with your words. Use your words. Communicate. Don't think people know what the fuck you're thinking, you know? You gotta talk. You gotta say, hey, mi amor, you hurting me with this thing. Could you please consider maybe not doing that like that? If you have a problem, to me directly. Don't talk to no one else and bring to me directly. That's a pretty shitty thing, you know, to move it around to others when you yourself simply do not have the tools to actually do the thing or speak the thing. So, most basic boundary setting is word is no. Or maybe yes. It lets others know that you exist part of them and that you are in control of you. So being clear about your no and your yes is a theme that runs throughout the life. Maybe you did not learn that because you are afraid. Stop doing that. Conquer your fears. Death and the fears are the big earth reason to even come here, okay? So, no one can be confronted. No one can be a confrontational word, we know. So we are to confront the people, we say lovingly saying no. That behavior is not working for me. So you can work with me, or if you work against, it's going to automatically destroy the unity, the uterus. So, all right, that was a good time. We have so much more. Next week, we're going to have one more story. And that story is going to be a deep one, a pretty heavy one, if you ask me, Cortez. But we are going to get into other boundary specific, you know, like truth, like geographical differences, time, other people, consequences, feelings, attitudes and beliefs, behaviors, values, limits, talents, thoughts, and maybe the desires to love, okay? All right, so I wanted to speak into this mic and say I love you so very much, and you are the beautiful people out there. I think you got this. I think you're going to grow into a big flower. It's a big, beautiful one that smells so sweet. All right, you're with Cortez and Taco Truck. How was the show? Me. Oh, he say he loves the show. It's like a time for an ice cream. It's very hot in his truck, you know, so. Hey, you like a taco? I like a taco too. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. And remember, kick butt out there on the streams, you know, fish well, dance your asses off, and remember, see Cortez on GP3 Grand Portal Adventure, and also Rocky Mountain Live. It's like my favorite radio show, the Colorado FM broadcast radio. Good job, GP. You just keep doing that out there at GP3 with the Rocky Mountain Live on KHEN 106.9. Okay, that's a big plug. All right, adios. Have a great weekend, everybody. All right.
You are going to feel